In the meantime, Texas Governor Rick Perry is calling today's ruling a stomach punch to the economy. Texas, of course, you remember, one of the original states that was fighting hard to block the implementation of health care law. What happens now, Governor? What do you do?
Well, truly, it was a stomach punch to the American economy. It doubled America over. You look at what's happening at the stock market, and when people really absorb this, and I agree that this is about this November. I mean, what the Supreme Court, and when I think about it, the Supreme Court should never have even had this bill. This is a great indictment of this administration and the Congress that pushed through a piece of legislation that they didn't even read and admitted they didn't read, and now we're finding out that the huge impact economically on the country. I kind of feel like I'm watching that old movie, The Godfather, and the American people looked the Godfather in the face and he said, "I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse." And that offer is, you're going to buy my insurance. If you don't, I'm going to tax you.
Well, you might have heard...
That is just unconscionable.
You may have heard Governor Charles Payne's theory that maybe Justice Roberts was being a little clever here, that he didn't want to necessarily rule on the constitutionality of this whole tax issue as much as leave it in the hands of the American people. The Congress came up with this. You don't like it, vote Congress out. That's simplifying it. But what do you make of that argument? And doesn't that, even if so, make it a very tougher road to sort of undo this thing?
I don't know whether it is a legitimate argument or not, but it is a legitimate end game, and that is that the American people are going to get focused. We already know the American people don't like this. I mean, it has overwhelmingly been rejected by Americans as they found out that there's going to be bureaucrats making decisions for their health care. There's going to be these panels.
Are you mad, Governor, at Justice Roberts? There are a lot of conservatives and a lot of governors who shared your view who said, hey, you let us down. We thought you were conservative justice. Did the president intimidate you? Were you afraid of being typecast? And all. You've heard it all. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'll let somebody else decide whether or not, what this guy's logic was. I don't know. I think there was an illogical decision that was made by the court. But, again, I go back to the court should never have even seen this law, and this is where the American people can become engaged and take our country back. I mean, freedom is under assault here. I mean, they are taking away Americans' freedom on one of the most important decisions that Americans make, and that's about their health care. You can get your freedom back. I've always been really nervous about a bunch of unelected judges who have the ability to decide what our freedoms are going to be. Our Constitution clearly states what those are going to be, and we're seeing them whittled away. But America can take this country back. It's going to take them really being focused on electing constitutional conservatives, like David Dewhurst. I mean, he's our lieutenant governor here. He understands what this is going to do to the Texas economy, sending people who are committed to overturning Obamacare and to get and make sure that there are strict constructionists put on that Supreme Court, and the United States Senate has a lot to do with that.
Governor, always good seeing you. Thank you. Governor Rick Perry.
Thanks, Neil. Good to see you. Come down.
All right.